Good morning. Well, afternoon actually. I was diagnosed with emphysema some years ago. Always been into fitness, gym, bodybuilding, etc. and fought it off. My work for a local authority, going out visiting people, walking around estates, dealing with antisocial behaviour, court work, etc. I've always just muddled on. Recently, it's become harder and harder as my breathing has become harder and harder. Shortness of breath, coughing like you wouldn't believe, not being able to go up more than one flight of stairs. In fact, one flight of stairs gets me out of breath. It's quite hard to do, but I've never admitted or reported illness. I've just carried on. My boss had an OC health assessment done on me, and they said I can't return to work. Excuse me. They said basically you're unfit for the role. I was dressed, I'd been off sick with a chest infection. In fact, I've had 3 chest infections in the last month and a half alone. 3 bouts of antibiotics. Not sleeping through the night. Waking up. In fact, the last 3 nights I've woken up between 1 and 1:30 after going to bed about 11:30. But I can no longer go back to work at my role. I'm 64 years old. So what does that mean for me? Well, at the moment, they're looking at the possibility of ill health retirement, which is quite daunting. I live on my own with my little friend and my cat. I don't know where it's going to go from here, how it's going to work out, whether I'll put in an awkward financial situation. It is going to prove very difficult. I'm ex-forces. I already get my naval pension, which is a lot less than it was expected to be when the government made me redundant. The pension from the local authority will be minimal. I've only been with them about 6 years. I do claim PIP, but they assessed at the moment on the basic amount. So how it's going to affect me financially is a big worry. I do currently have an application into PIP for a reassessment because I don't think they took everything into consideration at the time. I sent all that information off back at the beginning of July, and now it's 4th of October. I haven't heard back. But between then and now, my situation has become even worse, as I said about the chest infections. It's it's a struggle. I don't know if anyone else has the same thing as me. I've also got nodules on my lungs, a dilated aorta. I've just done an overnight test with some machinery for the sleep apnea. I'm waiting to hear on the results of that. So when I get more information, I will submit that to PIP to help with a reassessment if that can be done. But the OC health report was quite enlightening. It got me to walk around the office and then up and down a 3-piece staircase. It goes 1, 2, 3. I was out of breath and she made me stop because I was going dizzy. things like that. And basically I have to give up working there. Now, the worry being is obviously I get out of breath when I'm walking. I can't walk and talk at the same time. That's just ridiculous. What happens now? Do they assess, well, I'm 64, so I'm due to retire in 3 years' time. Do they assess that perhaps I would not really be able to get employment that will sustain me for 3 years with the current conditions I have? Or do they turn around and say, I won't get gainful employment again? So that means I would be fully retired. But then when do you go? Do you claim universal credit and I believe it's LCWR, limited capabilities to work? How does all this work? Well, I just thought I'd start this now so I could come back to you and tell you how it progresses, if it does progress, if I get any more news, if something, or PIP come back to me and say I still don't qualify for the full PIP, mobility, etc. We'll have to wait and see. But I hope you'll stay healthy and get what you need for you personally. I'll let you know on mine. Speak to you later. Bye-bye.